kick this off as we have in the top right-hand side of the map. This is going to be our Blue Protoss player representing Sidestorm Gaming still in this day and age, which is awesome. It is MaxPax. In the top left, it's going to be our Red Zerg. From Vitality, we have Solar. As we get ready for some action. And look to see what's going on in a little bit of ZVP. So, just going to be having a hatch, a few drones coming up. Hatchgasm pool coming down. Just going to be seeing the gate and the probe coming up as well. The gateway is going to finish. Nexus dropping down. And we get settled in here for a few moments. Just going to see that Nexus continues to come up online, so we bring that straight on through. And Cyber Core still coming up as well. Nexus is on its way. We just have ourselves again the hatchery, the pool coming up and online, so a little bit of everything for the early stages. Get settled on and see where we are going to go. Obviously, early game, nothing too crazy then. Definitely a matchup here. Solar and MaxPax, a very interesting one, and I do feel like MaxPax has struggled a little bit more in this matchup lately. But I do also think that he's actually quite good typically against what Solar likes to do, some of those aggressive attacks and so on, without being like super cheesy like what Shin was doing the other day. So yeah, very interesting. I feel like we're in a very fun state of StarCraft right now where we're not 100% sure where everyone is at level-wise. I mean, MaxPax and Solar, last two matches they played, well, last three matches, 3-0, 3-0, 3-1, all in favor of MaxPax, but, here's the big but on that, you're talking about the last one of those that happened was in June, and they all happened back-to-back-to-back weeks of ESL Open Cup America, right? There's a couple Lings and a drone, just going to nibble, pylon will go down, hatch coming up, Link speed is starting, so that's just the third hatch coming in. But yeah, so last time they played, MaxPax was dominating this matchup, but that was, you know, we're talking pre-eSports World Cup, which is basically, you know, the pinnacle of the year. A lot changes after eSports World Cup, not just metas, but players have very different levels of preparation now. They've been playing at a different level coming out of that event as well, so it definitely put some intrigue here on this matchup as we get up and underway in just a couple. We'll see, waiting for real action to break out. MaxPax with the Oracle. We'll be able to start harassing with that, expecting that to be one of the main things we keep an eye out for here over the next little while. Deb's going to share through. Link's going to move out. Link speed is about to complete. The warp gate is coming in. The Oracle's on the way. Stalker going to fight the Oracle overhead. Just chilling. And that is going to be the Stalker continuing to go, go, go. Overlord will go down. So we've seen our Oracle, our warp gate continue to come by for a couple of moments. Just gonna see our Nexus coming up, get that going. Again, the warp gate is coming about as well. We'll just have ourselves the Nexus, obviously allowing MaxPax to go straight to the third base. So triple Oracle, third base early. MaxPax not messing around there when it comes to this right away. He's gonna see those couple of queens on the way through as well. Queen firing, couple drones shooting, Oracle's taking some damage as well. A few more hits continue to come about. Depths continue to move over. Again, trying to stay active, and with these oracles combined, trying to get a little bit of something done. Our Queen's going to fire back. Those Adepts going to get turned away. Going to be seeing the few deaths continue to come about. And drone's still just going to be running, getting back over there for a little bit. Seven drones going down, some pretty serious damage. Still got that road speed coming up, infestation pit coming online. Now a few lings continue over to the far right side. Second to pull across over there, +1 and Blink continue to come through as well. I mean, here's MaxPax now. He loves this. Whack a pylon down here and just keep a whole bunch of pressure continuously coming through on this position from this point on. Just never let this up. That seems to be his motto when he gets into these positions. He's going to basically just try and squeeze Solar out of this game. Just say, like, look, you made a mistake. You kind of ended up in a bit of a rough spot already. I am 100% going to look to try and take complete full advantage of that. And that's the move that's being made right now to take advantage of exactly that here. So let's see how this turns. And as we do have already the Stalkers continue to fight. And anytime you've taken that drone damage early as Solar, it's going to be tough to deal with. There's so many gateways. Bling +1's not even done yet. And as the first row just popped, then it's going to finish. These Stalkers can continue to trade extremely effectively for quite a while. Coming back up this ramp again. Queen's still in some trouble. Lings are going to run across as well, trying to fight those Stalkers, trying to push them back, trying to get something done in this. This is not an easy situation at all. Solar just cannot really do anything to fight back. He is just in trouble. GG is called. Plain simple, quick and easy. MaxPax 1, Solar 0. Damage done early. I'm going to sink my teeth in, and I've really been trying to get the StarCraft back on track lately. So I've really been focused on that more so than on Stormgate. So I don't really have any good thoughts apart from the fact I should probably spend a little bit more time checking it out. But it's hard to justify because, like I say, I'm really focused on trying to bring the StarCraft 2 content back up to scratch. So just trying to focus there. MaxPax in the bottom left, and Solar in the upper right as we get this one underway and operational. Let's go into it and see what we've got in store here as we have our signee for our next round of fighting. Moving about, we do get the hatchery down on the gold base as well, so it's going to get that set straight up. It's going to be having that pool coming in, hatch gas pool in general coming up, gateway and the probe continuing around as well. I got Nexus down, so that comes into play, and obviously the Cybercore coming up. First few moments, we'll wait to see what the tech choices are going to be in the next little bit. What are my thoughts on Deadlock? Also something I'd like to check out and play a little bit of, but like I say, I've been really focused on some StarCraft lately. You guys might not realize this, but I'm really into StarCraft. Like, StarCraft's a great game. I'd really like to keep on making StarCraft content, and I'm really doing the best to make sure that that is a possibility into the future, so that's what we're doing. And Depth coming about here, just going to shade out. It's Stargate again from MaxPax, not really too much of a surprise on that at all. having ourselves the Adept gonna fire. A couple of drones taking some shots, and we do see a couple of drones then just being picked away at the moment. Some damage being done. 2 drones go down. It's actually pretty nice. And on the gold base as well, right? So you're denying what would have been gold-based mining workers. So that is very neat. Let's see the Lings coming over. The Adept's going to get a few more kills. So these Adepts have been actually very effective. I feel like they've been getting a lot of damage done, honestly. Not bad for just the first couple of Adepts of the game coming by and seeing quite a bit of success. And it's going to be there with the Queen, and we'll continue to chase after those Adepts a little. So Adepts will take a few more shots. But there's not really a proper shutdown on this. They are continuing to get through. They're continuing to chase around. The Adepts going to shade away over here now. And Oracle coming up. The Warp Gate still coming through. Gateway and Probe still on the way up as well. Continue to bring all of that into action now, currently. Setup continues. The Adepts really will just keep on hammering home and trying to get on top of as many of these drones as possible. So really trying to just get in there and deal some additional damage. 3 workers have gone down again. The lost mining time is adding up too. That's multiple times now that those drones have just had to pull away from that position. And obviously that's never great, because then you're constantly competing with the fact that you are, well, yeah, not mining. And that's just going to give MaxPax potentially on the follow-up a timing window that's going to be extremely difficult to stop. So feels like that's going to be kind of tough too. Things continuing around, just trying to see where we can go. Just gonna have to jump in here and try and get a little bit of cancel up. I mean, to be fair, we're gonna try and slow down at third base. Forcing the Oracles to use a lot of energy means they can't use as much energy across the map anymore. So some things kind of going a little bit in your way. Once again, a little bit of a benefit, a little bit of a positive play on that one. Depth still just chilling there. The Lings are gonna come running over. Lings just going to wrap. The Adept goes down. A couple Oracles going to gather back up on that left-hand side. The Lings are still fighting. They will have the wraparound to kill that Adept off. Stalks continue through. Rotron coming up. Lings and the Queen continue in as well. As Oracle's still activating. 4 drones going down. Damage being dealt for the moment. You do see the Lings wrapping, and the Stalker's in some trouble as well. That Adept also going to be in some trouble perhaps, as we just have the Oracle activating. A couple of gateways continuing but up. Blink is on the way in as well. We continue to get all of that on the way. This is a few Lings getting some probes, and that is good for Solar to finally be the one on the kind of dealing end of the damage. That's still coming out. A couple of drones and a few Lings continue up as well, so continue to bring that out and about. Just seeing a few more probes still in that production tab. Again, Blink and +1 coming up as well here. Nexus, Robo Facility, +1 and Blink, all of that continuing through. We do have ourselves the Stalkers in production as well, as the Oracle going to recoil away from the upper right hand side, just going to be pulling back. We'll pop the Revelation down one more time. As you try and establish this third base from MaxPax, Solar has done a lot to actually slow MaxPax down in the end. It didn't look pretty from Solar early, the very first little bits of the game, but he's definitely done a lot to step back into this and to really bring this to being a whole lot closer. Still just going to fight, another Overlord going down. a couple of structures coming through. Keep that going, keep that building. Gonna have a couple more corrosive bars coming in right there. As again, Stalkers and Oracles continue to come around. I mean, obviously MaxPax pushing into the center. Always scary if MaxPax feels like he can push his Solar. You've got to respect that, but I don't mind Solar defending the front of his creep, keeping some creep spread out on the map. Stalkers fighting. Gonna keep fighting a bit of Ling Roach Ravager taking shots while the Revelation comes through. A lot of those units are gonna get caught up in those in that Revelation. Stalkers do have to go running away a little bit. Oracle's chilling, Stalkers gathering. Seeing the +1 missiles and that Baneling speed continuing up as well, so we continue to bring all of that through. Stalkers, Colossus continue to move about. Just going to be having ourselves a +1 melee, and the Bane speed continuing up as well. Now we do have with the Colossus here a little bit more damage than before, so something to maybe look at as well on this. Just going to get to the center, a couple more Lings going down. The Baneling going to get grabbed as well there. And we're actually going to continue the retreat at the moment as Solar is pressing forwards. And I don't blame you. I mean, you've only got one Colossus to splash. It helps, but it ain't good enough, and we're actually going to get overrun. Solar is on an absolute storming right now of this position. Coming straight through this, looking to clean up very easily, very comfortably. And I think this one is going to end up going to a Game 3, which of course is just a treat for us. Because, well, you can never complain when it goes to a Game 3, can you? Touching up between Solar and MaxPax as MaxPax loses his third base. That's something he really struggled with this game as well, getting that third base up in the first place. It was definitely a factor as Ling Roach runs forward. Colossus still firing the Lings, trying to force that army back. Still, 31 probes have gone down. There's ults coming through, a couple more Lings getting jumped on. Much Ravage is still just going to be here, so looking to clean this up. Ravager keeps on pushing. Just going to have ourselves GG called, and we are going to have a 1-1 scoreline going to a Game 3. So we go to a third and final game between MaxPax and Solar. Beautiful map. Who's going to get through to the semis today? That's where the prize money begins as well. $50 for round of 4, $100 for second place today, and first place takes home $200. $400 total cup, just like the ESL Open Cups were split. We have in the bottom right corner of the map our Blue Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. This is MaxPax. In the top left-hand side, our red Zerg player from Vitality, evening up this series with some good counter-aggression of his own. It is Solar just really putting the halters on MaxPax's setup in that previous game. It was a huge deal to get that one on the way in the right direction, because otherwise you start slipping behind. And MaxPax ain't going to let you get back into a game easily. It did feel like that was the direction we were kind of en route for. So very good to see that that was not the way it actually went down, if you are a Solar fan. And now a Game 3 to decide it all. Who gets through to those semi-finals? Who's going to be representing there? Just have our Pro Beat moving back up into the upper left-hand side, see what's going on. Hatch gas pool all on the way in, bringing all of this up nice and quick. Get that rolling. And Nexus and Cybercore continuing about. Hatch gas and pool continuing up as well. It's going to be seeing our drone coming by for the moment too. It's bringing all of this up and about. And Nexus and Cybercore continue in. A couple of queens, 4 lings, the Overlord. Bringing all of that by for the moment as we do still have that Cybercore about to finish up. Adept will start as well. Another little bonus. Well, I think speed's on the way up. Our Stargate's coming out and about. Definitely starting to get an idea of where we're going again here. Obviously, the Stargate, pretty typical, but MaxPax has been someone to mix it up. He doesn't always go Stargate. He does sometimes get that Twilight Council down. He does sometimes mix the Adept Glaive builds in. He very much so knows the power of those builds and just what it can do to an opponent. If you get in there, you mix the build up, they're not quite ready, and it keeps their kind of, well, obviously this is the end of the series anyway, but you know, either or, you can kind of, you know, get their mindset to be kind of off for the rest of the series, always expecting Adepts, or you can also have them just, you know, not expecting Adepts at all because you've not used them at all, and now, boom, you suddenly bring it out in this final game, and that can be obviously very difficult to manipulate and maneuver around. So, a few things to think on there as the couple of Adepts will continue to make moves. Just going to go after some of these drones, a couple of workers going down. So we get a couple of kills, not as bad as it was earlier, a little bit of lost mining time as well, of course. Thinking back to that previous game where I feel like Solar had a much worse time with kind of drones going down and mining time being lost. So you recovered from that one just fine. I'm just looking to see if you can do the same on this one. It's moving about across the board. Again, just getting settled in. This Oracle continues to move up as well. Obviously, would love to start getting that Oracle into some aggressive positions and trying to get even more drones killed, more damage done as quickly as we can. And Oracle here already going to activate, and a couple of those lings is going to get punched back a little bit as well. Again, a few queens and a few drones all being built. A couple of overlords coming up. The Adept pulls back over toward the third base. The Ling's trying to get in the front. The Adept is going to say nuh-uh to that. Pushes those Lings right back out. Again, Nexus probes and the Adept continue to come through for now. Those drones still just building up. The Spore Crawler coming through as well. Twilight Council and Forge continue to be added on forwards. Progress still just being made for the next little while as our Oracle's going to get 3 drones, and yeah, Solar just waiting for his tech to come online, get a little bit of an idea of what maybe he's thinking of, what maybe he's even aiming toward as well, and information in general would be just kind of nice to see right now. There and the Rotron going to be his choice. I guess it's never really super exciting from his Zerg play. I guess as that Rotron in the left finishes, we will see what tech comes off the lead. Do we look for Hydroden? Do we look toward Lurkers? Are we just going to stick on kind of Roachling Bane for a while? Is that kind of, you know, the idea? Is that the way you feel like you can maybe overwhelm and kind of get a victory over MaxPax? Sticking to those lower tech units may actually be the kind of specialty of Solar in a ZVP matchup. I would never really say that Solar's kind of super late game ZVP has been like the thing to watch out for. And again, not trying to be harsh. Solar is obviously a great player, but much more think of Solar as an early to mid-game Zerg player than a late-game Zerg player. I mean, he's played a fair share of late game, obviously, in his time. I wouldn't say he's bad in late game, just like I say, if it was to say what his specialty was, late game is not the words that come to mind. So like I say, maybe those early attack units can be something to sit on. He's going to get melee upgrade up, so he will probably focus Ling, Bane, Ravager, and then use that to transition through into the Hive, into other tech, and just setting up from there. Temple Archives continue to come through. Stalker Oracle still in a little bit of a move about. So we've seen the single link there, just going to fight the Stalker, going to push that back. More Stalkers coming across. Going to be able to grab an Overlord on the right side or an Overseer, that'll do it. So Overseer goes down, just going to be seeing the Spire coming up, the melee and the Roach speed continuing up. The Stalkers here will continue to fight onto those Queens, and Queens will now be taking some damage as well, so damage continues to be done. MaxPax is so good at just showing. I mean, I guess when he doesn't get delayed in his game, he shows up with his timing, and apparently that's just really freaking terrifying, because this is apparently going to be really tough for him to, for Solar to stop right now. He is not having an okay time against this at all. Storm on the way from MaxPax too, so he's taking that step forward. Solar with the Spire is obviously, I mean, if we try and go Mutas here, against someone who's going to have Storm, Blink, Stalkers already up, I do not love it at all. I'm not sure if that's even something that can just start to pull MaxPax around a little bit and then kind of develop from there. I don't know if I love this kind of tech path at all for Solar. I feel like we're in a bad spot, but we'll see if he can make some Spire magic happen. I mean, Mutas oftentimes do kind of come down to the, you know, the person they're in the hands of. You know, if you are able to control your Mutalisk extremely well and so on, then yeah, you will probably get a lot out of them, right? You will see success, but that's the issue. Controlling them extremely well is not easily done. You're playing against someone like MaxPax, who's obviously going to be very on top of making sure that these things do not get out of hand. I mean, 13 meters, the surprise factor has got to be a part of this, you know, just, hey, look, oh my god, so many Mutalisks, are you ready for those? Probably not, right? So there's some benefit there. There's no cannons in mineral lines, for example. We're building a lot of cannons and batteries, but not in mineral lines. So the Mutas will have openings. The thing is, I would say this buys Solar time, but at the end of the day, you're only buying time in the sense of you spent, you know, you've invested yourself. Your own tech is much further behind because you went into the Spire. So you're going to buy yourself time to kind of get back on track. The Mutas need to do more than just buy a bit of time, because otherwise you may as well have just done the main thing in the first place. Just going to dive through. This is going to be a potential breakthrough with Ling Roach as well, so actually a lot of units to threaten this counterattack with. I like that part of it. I think that's absolutely the right kind of direction to move in, so I actually think that's very cool. Love that. Let's see how Amita's coming through. 34 pros go down super quickly. Well, MaxPax actually turned around to deal with it, so the Mutas are maybe actually going to do exactly what they need, which is buy some time, but they also did damage. This was not just a turnaround and, okay, now I've bought some time. You know, MaxPax is going to come straight back across the map. Now if MaxPax attacks, he's going to be down 30 workers as well, so we do significant damage here, way more than we really thought we were going to get done with these Mutas. I mean, I was doubting them. I saw people in the chat were doubting them. I was not alone in this sentiment. And yet here we are, here we stand. As the Oracles continue to move through, just going to be seeing the Arc on the Phoenix coming up as well. Keep bringing that by for the moment. More Storms, we're just going to get pushed away once more and just going to have ourselves the Stalker Archon combined, just looking to push back that Ling Muta force. So again, trying to keep things away as best we can. Just seen a couple of High Templars still coming up, plus one air weapons coming through as well. A flyer attack from the Mutalisks. Obviously, Phoenix are a way to try and have a hard shutdown on those Mutalisks as well. If you can get those in the right places at the right times, it can really be very fantastic. MaxPax being forced to play much more defensively. I will say these Mutas have done an absolute treat. Way more than what I thought they were going to do initially, and absolutely just continue to take things in the right direction as well, kind of from that point. So, yeah, very, very impressed by these Mutalisks. I am genuinely a little shocked at just how good they've turned out to be. I know I've probably said that a few times now, but it really is just kind of true. They've been surprisingly effective in this game. He's going to come across the edge. He's going to go after some probes again. Solar still maxed out. MaxPax, 150 supply. Leaking down a little bit currently as you just have the Mutas chased away once more. Plus 2 melee, plus 2 air flyer attack continue to come up as well. Things continue around. The few probes gather up as well. Continue to just move a little bit here and there for the moment. Thing is, obviously, the Lings should not be able to take too good of a fight here. They are something which should be very minimal in terms of their effectiveness, so don't expect those Lings to find too much, as we just have our Ling Muta continuing through. The Stalkers are going to get grabbed a little. Muta's going to get into this mineral line, and probes will be dropping. Things continue to fly. A good storm on the left side, just going to push those Lings back out. Again, +2 melee, +2 flare attack. Muta's going to come back in, try to go for the battery and all the rest. Stalkers on the right side, going to have units on the left as well. Uh-oh, Mutila's getting a little bit cornered. They just about got out of the storm too, which was also going to threaten for a lot of damage. Didn't quite come around in the end. So we're going to fight one more time. Couple more shots coming about. The Queen's out in the middle of the map as well. There's been a lot of creep. Wow, MaxPax is just going to send it. Marches across the map. There's a few Banes here, but no Bane speed. Okay, Bane speed's about to finish. So that actually might not be so bad. Okay, Stalker's blinking up. Phoenix and Archon's hanging about. The storm comes down. I mean, don't get me wrong, MaxPax's army is very powerful. Is it good enough just to full send across the map like he is doing? Great question. Banes are going to crash into most of the Archons there, so I wouldn't say that that's the prettiest trade that we've ever seen. Could have been a whole lot better. Could have been a whole lot worse as well, though. Let's be realistic. So that one kind of rolls both ways. Stalkers continuing to go to town, making away at a base for just a little bit longer. So just going to be having another base going down. I mean, we are obviously not in a great position for MaxPax as we continue through. This does seem to be kind of going downhill for him in terms of infrastructure at home. He's obviously only on 3 bases. There's a lot of things wrong with where MaxPax is at in this game. But he will not give up easily. And again, his army is definitely the one thing that he's got very much so correctly done in this game. His army is great. It's fantastic. It's actually really good at fighting everything his opponent has. I'm Solar. I'm not rushing to chase his opponent down. I'm looking to kind of maybe even put a little bit more tech on the map. Give myself more options and maybe just say, yeah, eventually I'm going to very much so come through into a very powerful spot here. So I'd much rather see that kind of approach from Soul. Obviously, that's his decision still to make, though. So got to figure out if he wants to go down that route or not. You know, Stalkers and all the rest hitting away. Whack, whack, whack. We go. So we've seen the few hundreds here just going to get chased a little bit. Bane's getting turned back around. What was up on the left side? Also being dropped. Another storm comes in. The fight is obviously the few High Templar in the front. Kind of out of energy anyways, but just still trying to fight until the very end. Stalkers, Archons continue to come through. Now I'm going to see those Stalkers blinking forward. They will get on top of some of the Hydras. A few Lings going down as well. Archons continue to fight. A couple of Hydralisks going down also. MaxPax's army is still able to trade somewhat effectively. The Hydras obviously sit here and just put out a lot of damage. The Archons blocking each other from really getting into range, and I think that's just about going to do it. I think that's going to be all they wrote. MaxPax has to type GG. Solar will advance to the semi-finals here today to play some ZVT against Björn or